What a disgrace. What an absolute disgrace. The worldwide leader in woke. They never cease to amaze me with their dedication to Wiener. Correct me if I'm wrong here. ESPN is the proud home of women's sports, right? Women's college basketball, college softball, the dump of dumps, the WNBA, that insufferable all-women show that they just launched, Chicken Vibes, which will be the topic on the main channel later this afternoon. ESPN is the proud home of women, right? We love women, girl power! With that being the case, someone please explain this headline at ESPN. The University of Pennsylvania has agreed to ban transgender women from women's sports. What? Excuse me? I have been covering Lia Thomas since, I believe, November of 2021. Matter of fact, myself and other YouTubers along with Outkick, we were covering Lia Thomas months before the mainstream media picked up the story. The University of Pennsylvania, they did not ban transgender women from competing in women's sports. What they did yesterday is ban men pretending to be women from competing in women's sports. Why am I not surprised that ESPN is refusing to celebrate women? Why am I not surprised that the worldwide leader in woke is refusing to celebrate a landmark victory for women? A victory that should have never been a victory because it should have never been a fight to begin with. Yesterday, the University of Pennsylvania announced that they had struck a deal with the Trump administration. Now, normally when you strike a deal, both sides agree to some sort of a compromise. But there was no compromise yesterday. There was no negotiation. The process was actually very simple. The Trumper told the University of Pennsylvania, you can either do exactly what I tell you, or you're going to lose federal funding. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing how quickly virtue signaling minds can change when their dedication to Wiener starts costing them dollars. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the main channels in the description below. Listen to this list of demands that the University of Pennsylvania agreed to. You tell me if this was a compromise. All swimming records, all titles that were misappropriated by male athletes, and that is their terminology, not mine. Penn classified transgender women as male athletes. All accomplishments that were obtained by male athletes, they will now be given to the women who actually won them. The university will issue a public statement claiming that men will no longer be allowed to compete in women's sports. The statement, it will include biological definitions of male and female. With the assistance of a biologist, the university will properly define men and women. Now, I know that can be rather difficult, so let Uncle KC save you thousands of dollars. There is no need for a biologist. In my 40 years on this earth, I have become an expert at determining gender. If the athlete in question has a cucumber, if the athlete in question has the ability to relieve himself while standing up, if the athlete in question has a beard, well, KC, what if they're bald? That could also help in determining gender. No, baldness has become a little tricky. Over the last few years, we have seen a drastic increase in balding beauties, mainly at MSNBC. But if Peter has a Peter, he's a dude. If an athlete meets these stringent qualifications, he's a dude. Otherwise, she's female. Penn will rescind any guidance that violates Title IX. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that means. Maybe it means they will quit providing gender-affirming care. I don't know. But last but not least, the university will send personalized apologies to every female swimmer that was affected by the inclusion of Will Thomas. In summary, the University of Pennsylvania, they're erasing the existence of Lia Thomas. I know this is a celebratory moment for women. I know this is a step in the right direction, and I was happy yesterday. I was happy for Riley Gaines. I was happy for the other women in that locker room that were exposed to Lia Thomas and that gas-powered propeller, but I was also aggravated. I was aggravated that the Trumper had to waste his time fighting a fight that should have never been started. Think about all the major things that are going on right now. Vlad Putin, he is still fighting in Ukraine. The French president, Macaroni, he offered to help end the war in Ukraine as long as the Trumper could convince Candace Owens to quit talking about his wife, who Candace Owens believes is his husband. The Middle East is a flaming ass fire. The Trumper was organizing and approving strikes in Iran. We've got a certified lunatic trying to become the mayor of New York City. The riots in Los Angeles, which were eventually resolved once deacons at Woke United Methodist realized that most people are no longer tolerating that shit. Tariffs, fighting inflation, rebounding the stock market, the countless other things that require the Trumper's attention. And he had to waste his valuable time arguing with woke universities over gender. He had to waste his time with woke universities over the difference between men and women. If I were Trump, I would have just sent them a copy of Kindergarten Cop. The 5-year-old in that movie, he explained the difference perfectly. Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. If a 5-year-old in the year of our Lord 1990 can understand it, why is this concept so difficult for institutions who claim to be about higher learning? Hopefully, this is over, at least for now, but don't kid yourself into believing that the deacons are giving up. This is literally their job. They don't have normal jobs like you and I do. Their job is to start shit. Their job is to create chaos. So don't think for a second that the fight is over. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the main channel.